I kissed the wrong man at the Sterling Plaza Halloween Gala. I worked housekeeping, making beds, cleaning toilets. But that night, management made us serve canapes. They gave us costumes. I got the sexy nurse, Red Cross, white stockings. My husband Marcus worked front desk. He went as a skeleton. I'd had 2 drinks, because that morning he told me I was getting fat. I saw a skeleton by the bar. Same mask, same build. Kiss him in the neck. I thought it was Marcus. Wrong. He turned. Mediterranean. Dark eyes. Expensive cologne. I'm sorry, I thought. Marcus appeared. Grabbed my arm hard. The stranger caught his wrist, midair. Remove your hand. Not a request. Marcus went pale. I just kissed the most dangerous man in that room. The stranger held Marcus's wrist for 3 full seconds. Long enough for my husband's face to go from red to white. Remove your hand from her. Marcus let go immediately. I stumbled backward. My arm throbbed where he'd grabbed me. The stranger positioned himself between us, his back to me, protective. You work here. Front desk. I've seen you checking in guests. Yes, sir. I apologize for my wife's inappropriate. Your wife did nothing wrong. You put hands on her in anger, in public. Greek accent. Each word deliberate. Apologize to her. Now, around us, other guests were starting to notice. Conversations pausing, phones emerging from designer clutches. The kind of attention Marcus desperately didn't want. His jaw clenched. This is between husband and wife. Nothing is private when you make it violent. The stranger's tone didn't rise. Didn't need to. To her. Now, Marcus looked at me. His eyes promised retribution later. Sorry, he forced out. Not to me. To her. The muscle in Marcus's jaw jumped. His hands fisted. For one terrible moment, I thought he'd throw a punch. Right there, in the ballroom. Instead, he turned to me. Voice loud enough for nearby guests to hear. We're done. You understand? Finished. Pack your things and get out of my apartment tonight. He stormed off toward the staff exit. I stood there in my ridiculous nurse costume, frozen. The stranger turned to face me. Up close, his eyes were the color of aged whiskey. Are you injured? He asked quietly. I shook my head. Do you have somewhere safe to go tonight? That's when reality hit. The apartment was in Marcus's name. His salary paid rent. My housekeeping wages, $12 an hour, barely covered groceries. I had nowhere to go. My parents were dead. My sister lived in Seattle. My best friend stopped answering calls 2 years ago. I'll figure something out. I managed. The stranger studied me, then reached into his jacket, withdrew a business card. Heavy cardstock, cream-colored, embossed lettering. Just a name and phone number. Stefanos Gallus. When you leave tonight, call this number. I'll send a car. I don't need charity. Not charity. Survival. He pressed the card into my palm. Pride is expensive. Accepting help is free. He walked away before I could argue. I stood there, card in my trembling hand. Stefanos Gallus. The name meant nothing to me, but Marcus's fear told me it should. I finished my shift in the housekeeping locker room, changed into jeans and a sweater, hands still shaking. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. The smell of industrial bleach made my stomach turn. My phone buzzed. Marcus, don't come home. Locks changed. Your stuff will be in storage by morning. 3 years of marriage. Ended via text. I sat on the wooden bench, surrounded by gray metal lockers, and tried to think. Where could I go? A hotel? With what money? I had maybe $300 in my checking account. Marcus controlled everything else. A shelter? It was Halloween night. They'd be full. My sister Rachel, she lived in Seattle, and we hadn't spoken in 6 months. Not since she told me Marcus was bad news, and I defended him. I pulled out the business card. Stefanos Gallus. The embossed letters caught the harsh light. Pride is expensive. Help is free. I dialed the number. It rang once. Mrs. Bennett. Not a question. He knew. I'm at the Sterling Plaza. Employee exit. How did you stay there? 5 minutes. The line went dead. 5 minutes later, I stood in the alley behind the hotel. October wind cut through my thin jacket. The dumpster smelled like rotting food and expensive leftovers. Lobster shells, champagne corks, A black SUV turned into the alley, then another, and another. Within 30 seconds, 12 identical vehicles lined the narrow space. Black, windows tinted so dark they looked like mirrors, engines running in perfect synchronization. Men in dark suits emerged from each vehicle. Tall, broad-shouldered, the kind of men who didn't need to advertise danger. It was in the way they moved, controlled, aware, scanning the alley with professional precision. Pieces, expensive watches, shoes that cost more than my monthly rent. They didn't touch weapons. Didn't need to. One spoke quietly into his wrist. The others positioned themselves at strategic points, covering exits, watching approaches. This wasn't normal security. This was something else entirely. The rear door of the center vehicle opened. Stefano stepped out. He changed from his costume. Now he wore a charcoal suit that probably cost more than I made in 6 months. Tailored perfectly to his frame. Mrs. Bennett. He gestured to the open door. Please. I stared at the convoy. At the men. At the precision of it all. What exactly you do, Mr. Gallus? Import. Export. I facilitate movement of goods through the ports. He held my gaze. And I protect people who need protecting. I don't need. You're standing in an alley at midnight, with nowhere to go. Your husband threatened you in public, and threw you out. You have approximately $300 to your name, and no family in this city. He paused. You need protection, Mrs. Bennett. Whether you want to admit it or not, the accuracy of his knowledge should have terrified me. Instead, it felt like someone finally saw me clearly. How do you know all that? I make it my business to know. He stepped aside. The car is warm. You're shivering. We can discuss details once you're safe. I looked at the open door. Leather seats, soft lighting, warmth. Then back at the cold alley, at the hotel where I'd scrubbed toilets for 3 years, at the life I'd just lost. I got in the car. The interior smelled like leather and expensive cologne. Heated seats, ambient lighting that didn't hurt my eyes. A partition separated us from the driver. Stefano slid in beside me. The door closed with a solid, expensive sound. He pressed a button. The partition rose, giving us privacy. The convoy moved as one unit. Smooth, professional. Other cars pulled aside to let us pass. Where are we going? I asked. Somewhere safe. My home in Weehawken. I can't just move into a stranger's house. You can't afford not to. He wasn't being cruel, just stating facts. Marcus will calm down in a few days. Realize he overreacted. He'll try to contact you, apologize, promise to change. How do you? Because men like him always do. And women like you usually go back. He looked at me. You won't have that option if you're staying with me. He won't be able to find you, won't be able to manipulate you back into accepting less than you deserve. The accuracy hurt. You don't know anything about me. I know you defended me when your husband grabbed you. I know you apologized to me for a mistake that wasn't yours. I know you've been making yourself smaller for years, trying to fit into a marriage that doesn't fit you. His voice gentled. I know because I've seen it before, many times. I turned to look out the window. Manhattan blurred past. We entered the Lincoln Tunnel. The lights flickered rhythmically overhead. Why are you helping me? I asked quietly. Because someone helped my mother once. When my father was difficult, she had nowhere to go. A stranger gave her shelter, saved her life. He was quiet for a moment. I repay that debt forward. We emerged from the tunnel into New Jersey. The Hudson River glittered to our left. City lights reflected on dark water. The convoy continued north along the waterfront. What do you want in return? I asked. Because nothing was free. I'd learned that. Nothing you're not willing to give. He met my eyes. You'll have your own room, your own space. No expectations, no obligations. When you're ready to leave, you leave. But until then, you're under my protection. Which means no one, including your husband, can touch you. And if I want to leave tomorrow, then you leave tomorrow. The car slowed. We turned off the main road onto a private drive. Gates opened ahead. Tall, wrought iron. Security cameras on every post. Beyond the gates, a warehouse. Brick. Industrial. The kind of building that looked abandoned from the outside. But as we pulled closer, I saw the lights. warm, inviting. The gates closed behind us with a solid sound. The convoy parked in formation. Drivers emerged. Opened doors. Stefanos stepped out first. Extended his hand to help me. I took it. His palm was warm, calloused, strong. "Welcome," he said quietly, "to your new home." The warehouse looked abandoned from outside. Brick walls, rusted fire escapes, graffiti near the loading docks. Inside was different. The entrance opened into a space that felt more like a Mediterranean villa than an industrial building. Marble floors, white with gray veining. Walls painted warm cream. High ceilings with exposed beams painted matte black. A fountain in the center. Geometric, modern, but with Greek key patterns in the tilework. The scent hit me. Incense. Something herbal and slightly sweet. A woman appeared from a side hallway. Older, maybe 60, gray hair pulled back. Simple black dress. She looked at Stefanos and rattled off something in Greek. He responded in the same language, then turned to me. "This is Maria. She manages the household. She'll show you to your room." Maria smiled, gestured for me to follow. "Wait," I said. "I don't even know what's happening. What is this place? Who are you really?" Stefanos studied me for a moment, then nodded. "Maria, give us a moment, please." She disappeared down the hallway. He gestured to a sitting area near the fountain. Leather couches, low table. Everything expensive, but not showy. We sat. "What do you want to know?" he asked. "Everything. Start with why Marcus looked terrified when he heard your name." "Because my family controls most of the shipping and port operations in this region, legal and otherwise." He said it simply, like discussing the weather. "Your husband works in hospitality, but hospitality intersects with my business in many ways. Hotels need suppliers. Suppliers use ports. Ports belong to me." "You're saying you're organized crime?" "Yes." He didn't flinch from the words. "My grandfather built the organization. My father expanded it. I inherited it 10 years ago when he died. I should have run. Should have grabbed my phone and called someone. Anyone. But who would I call? And where would I go?" "Your mafia." The Greek call it something different. "But yes, that's the American term. And you brought me here because you had nowhere else to go. Because your husband is a bully, and I don't tolerate men who hurt women. And because I could." He leaned forward slightly. "I'm not a good man, Mrs. Bennett. But I have rules, lines I don't cross. Women and children are off limits. Always. Unless they're in your house. Under your control. You're not under my control. You're under my protection. There's a difference." "Is there?" He smiled slightly. "You'll learn." Maria reappeared in the doorway, spoke to Stefanos in Greek again. He stood. "Your room is ready. Maria will show you. Get some rest. We'll talk more in the morning." "Wait. It's late. You're exhausted. Tomorrow is soon enough for more questions." He walked away, down a different hallway, leaving me with Maria. She smiled, gestured again for me to follow. The guest suite was on the second floor. A bedroom larger than my entire apartment. King bed. Windows overlooking the Hudson. Private bathroom with a tub that could fit 3 people. Maria showed me the closet. Already stocked with clothes. My size. How I started. She didn't speak English. Just smiled. Patted my shoulder. Left me alone. I sat on the edge of the bed. Too exhausted to process. Too wired to sleep. My phone buzzed. "Marcus, I know you're with him." "Big mistake. He'll use you and throw you away. Come home. We can fix this." I turned off my phone. The next morning, I woke to sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows. For a moment, I forgot where I was. Then I remembered. Everything. I found clothes laid out on a chair. Jeans that fit perfectly. A soft sweater. Even undergarments. My side. The accuracy was unsettling. I dressed, followed the smell of coffee downstairs. The kitchen was massive. Professional grade. Stefano stood at the stove, cooking. He'd changed into dark jeans and a white t-shirt. Simple, but the watch on his wrist probably cost $50,000. "Good morning," he said without turning. "Coffee's ready." Cups in the cabinet above the machine. I poured myself coffee. Stood awkwardly by the counter. "Do you cook often?" I asked. "When I have time." Reminds me of my mother. He plated food. Eggs. Some kind of Greek pastry. Sit. It wasn't a request. I sat at the kitchen island. He placed the plate in front of me, then sat across from me with his own. Eat, then we'll discuss the arrangement. What arrangement? You're staying here. We need ground rules. I can help, I said quickly. Around the house. Cooking. Cleaning. I'm good at that. I can earn my— No, the word was flat. Final. But I can't just stay here and do nothing. I need to be useful. You're a guest, not staff. He cut into his eggs. Maria handles the household. You don't work here. Something twisted in my chest. Then what am I supposed to do? Rest. Recover. Figure out what you want to do next. I want to help. I want to contribute. I can't just— Mrs. Bennett. He looked up, those whiskey dark eyes fixed on me. This is not negotiable. You are not cleaning my house. You are not cooking my meals. You are not making yourself useful to justify your existence here. The words hit harder than they should have. Not useful. Not needed. The thing I'd been my entire marriage. The thing I'd always been. I don't understand. You will. In time. He went back to eating. I sat there. Plate untouched. Feeling useless. Dismissed. That afternoon, I tried again. Maria was in the laundry room, folding towels. I joined her. Started helping. She looked confused. Said something in Greek. Tried to take the towel from my hands. It's okay, I said. I want to help. I'm good at this. She shook her head. Kept trying to take the towel. Stefanos appeared in the doorway. What are you doing? Helping Maria. She has a lot of— Maria doesn't need help. She's paid very well to manage this household. You're interfering with her work. I'm not interfering. I'm helping. There's a difference. No, there isn't. He stepped into the room. You're making her uncomfortable. She thinks you're unhappy with her work. That I'm unhappy with her work. I looked at Maria. She did look uncomfortable. I didn't mean to. I know what you meant to do. You meant to make yourself indispensable. To prove your value. To earn your place here. His voice was quiet. Controlled. You don't need to earn anything. You're here because I offered. That's enough. But I can't just— Yes. You can. He turned to Maria, spoke to her in Greek. She nodded, smiled at me apologetically, left the room. We were alone. I'm trying to help, I said again. Quieter this time. No, you're trying to justify your existence. There's a difference. The accuracy cut deep. That evening, I tried to call my sister, just to let her know I was okay, that I had somewhere to stay. My phone wouldn't connect. No service. I walked through the house, trying to find a spot with signal. Nothing. Stefanos found me on the second-floor balcony. Phone held high. Searching for bars, looking for something. My phone doesn't work. No signal anywhere. The building is shielded. Security measure. So I can't make calls? You can use the landline in the study. Or I can give you a secure phone. Why can't I just use my own phone? Because your husband is likely tracking it. And I'd prefer he didn't know exactly where you are. Something cold settled in my stomach. You're blocking my phone. On purpose. I'm protecting you. On purpose. By cutting me off from everyone. By making sure Marcus can't trace you here. By ensuring your safety. You mean by controlling me? His expression didn't change. If that's how you choose to see it. You know what? I set my phone down. Hard. I'm grateful. Really. You helped me when I had nowhere to go. But I'm not your prisoner. I'm not your project. And I'm not gonna sit in this beautiful house and do nothing, while you control every aspect of my life. I'm not controlling you. You won't let me work. You won't let me help. You're blocking my phone. You had clothes bought for me without asking. You know everything about me, and I know nothing about you except that you're a criminal. My voice rose. What am I supposed to do here? Just exist? Just be grateful? Yes. The word hung between us. Excuse me? Be grateful. Rest. Heal. Stop trying to earn your value through service. He stepped closer. You spent 3 years with a man who made you feel worthless. Unless you were useful. I'm not that man. You don't need to prove anything here. Then what do you want from me? Nothing. That's what you don't understand. I want nothing from you. Everyone wants something. Not from you. Not right now. We stood there, 2 feet apart, tension crackling. I don't know how to do that, I whispered. I don't know how to just be. Then learn. His voice gentled. Slightly. You have time. You have safety. Use it. He turned to leave. Paused at the door. For what it's worth, Mrs. Bennet, your husband was a fool. You were never the problem. He was. He left me standing on the balcony, alone with my thoughts, and the terrifying realization that he might be right. 3 days passed. I stayed in the guest suite, mostly, venturing out for meals, avoiding Stephanos when I could. The warehouse was bigger than I'd realized. Multiple floors, a gym, a library, an office I wasn't allowed to enter. Men came and went, always in suits, always respectful. They nodded at me, called me Mrs. Bennet in accented English, but kept their distance. Maria brought me meals when I didn't come down. She didn't speak English, but her kindness was clear. She'd pat my hand, smile, leave fresh flowers in my room. On the fourth morning, Stephanos knocked on my door. We need to talk. Downstairs. 10 minutes. He didn't wait for a response. I found him in what he called the study. Dark wood, floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, a massive desk, windows overlooking the river. He sat behind the desk, gestured to the chair across from him. I sat. Your husband filed a missing persons report, he said without preamble. Claimed you disappeared after the Halloween gala. He's very concerned, very worried. My stomach dropped. He knows I'm here? No. The report lists you as missing. Possibly endangered. He slid a printed article across the desk. Local news website. My photo. Marcus, looking distraught for the cameras. He's playing the worried husband, I said quietly. Yes, which means you have a choice to make. I looked up. You can contact the police. Tell them you're safe, that you left voluntarily. End this charade. He paused. Or you can stay missing. Stay here. Let him think, whatever he wants. Why would I do that? Because the moment you surface, he'll find you. He'll apologize. Beg. Promise change. And you'll be right back where you started. His eyes held mine. Unless you want that. I don't. Then I have a proposition. He leaned back in his chair. Fingers steepled. Stay here. Not as a guest. As someone under my employment. Doing what? You won't let me clean. You won't let me cook. I need someone I can trust. Someone observant. Someone who notices details. He paused. Someone who can move through spaces without being noticed. I don't understand. You worked housekeeping for 3 years. You're invisible to wealthy people. They don't see staff. They tag freely around them. Assume they're not paying attention. Realization dawned. You want me to spy? I want you to observe. There's a difference. Not a big one. Bigger than you think. He stood, walked to the window. I have business interests. Legitimate and otherwise. Sometimes I need information. Information that comes from places my men can't access. Hotels. Private clubs. Events where armed men in suits draw attention. But a housekeeper doesn't. Exactly. No. I stood. I'm not going to be your spy. I'm not going to. $25 an hour. Full benefits. Housing included. No questions asked about your past or your husband. $25 an hour. More than double what I made at the Sterling. I'm not interested in 40 hours a week. Overtime paid. Plus bonuses for particularly useful information. Mr. Gallus, you'll have complete autonomy. You choose which jobs you take, which places you observe. I'm not asking you to do anything illegal. Just notice things. Report back. Why me? Because you're smart. Observant, and you need a way forward that doesn't involve going back to your husband or scrubbing toilets. The bluntness stung. I could get another job. A legitimate job. Could you? Without references? Without explaining why you left your last position abruptly? Without Marcus finding you the moment you fill out an application with your real name? He had a point. This is insane. This is practical. You need money. Safety. Independence. I need someone I can trust in spaces I can't access. It's mutually beneficial. You don't even know me. How do you know you can trust me? I know enough. You defended me when your husband grabbed you. You apologized for a mistake that wasn't yours. You've been here 4 days and haven't tried to steal anything or contact anyone. He turned from the window. That tells me plenty. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I'd been keeping it off, mostly, but I'd turned it on that morning. Old habit. 17 missed calls from Marcus. 23 texts. The latest. I know you're scared. Come home. I forgive you. Forgive me. For his violence. For his control. Stefano saw my expression. He's escalating, he said quietly. The concerned husband act won't last. Soon he'll be angry. Then dangerous. How do you know? Because I've seen it before. Men like him don't accept losing control. They escalate until they get it back, or destroy what they can't control. You think he'd hurt me? I think he already did. In ways that didn't leave visible bruises. He moved closer. Physical violence is just the final stage. You were already being hurt. You just didn't have the language for it yet. The words hit too close. So my options are work for a criminal, or go back to my abuser. Your options are accept help on terms that give you independence, or refuse help out of pride and end up with nothing. He wasn't being cruel, just honest. I'm not offering charity. I'm offering employment. Legitimate employment that happens to involve observation, spying, semantics. I looked at my phone, at Marcus's messages, at the life I'd left, then at Stephanos, at the safety he offered, the employment, the way out. I could make myself useful, valuable, indispensable even. Isn't that what I always did? Make myself needed? If I say yes, I started slowly. What exactly would I be doing? Small jobs at first. Attend an event. Observe who talks to whom. What's discussed. Nothing dangerous. Nothing illegal. And you'd pay me to just watch people. And report accurately. Yes. It sounded too easy. Which meant it wasn't. But what choice did I have? I need to think about it. You have until tonight. After that, I'll need to make other arrangements. That evening, I found him in the kitchen. He was cooking again. Something that smelled like lemon and oregano. I'll do it, I said from the doorway. He didn't turn around, just kept stirring whatever was in the pan. On one condition. Now he looked at me. I want to know what I'm getting into. All of it. No surprises. If you're sending me somewhere dangerous, I need to know. Agreed. And I can say no to any job. Anytime. Agreed. And when I have enough money saved, when I'm ready, I can leave. No questions. Agreed. It was too easy. He was agreeing too quickly. Why are you really doing this? I asked. He turned off the stove. Faced me fully. Because you remind me of someone. Someone who needed help once and didn't get it until it was almost too late. His expression was unreadable. Consider this my attempt to change that story. Your mother. Yes. The next morning, he outlined the first job. A charity gala. Next Friday. At the Grandview Hotel in Manhattan. I'd work coat check. Observe the guests. Pay attention to conversations. What am I looking for specifically? A man named Viktor Petrov. Russian. Late 50s. He'll be there with his wife. I need to know who he talks to. How long? What the body language suggests. That's it? That's it. You check coats. You observe. You report back. 5 hours of work. $500. $100 an hour. For watching people. This seems too simple. It is simple. Most intelligence work is. He slid a folder across the table. Photos of Petrov. His wife. Known associates. Study them. You need to recognize them instantly. I opened the folder. Professional surveillance photos. The man was distinguished. Silver hair. Expensive suits. Why do you need to know about him? That's not part of the job. The job is observe and report. My reasons are my own. Fair enough. When do I start studying? Now. You have 6 days. That night, I couldn't sleep. Went downstairs for water around 2 a.m. Voices from Stephanos's office, speaking Greek. Tense. Angry. I shouldn't have listened. Should have gone back upstairs. But I paused at the partially open door. Stephanos and 2 men. One older, silver-haired, the other younger. Maybe 30, the older man was speaking. Rapid Greek. Gesturing. Then I heard a name. I recognized Marcus Bennett, my husband's name. In the middle of their conversation, Stephanos responded, his tone warning. Final. The older man argued back. Stephanos slammed his hand on the desk, said something sharp, definitive. The two men left, walked right past me in the hallway. Didn't even notice me standing there in the shadows, invisible. Just like always, Stephanos appeared in the doorway, saw me. How much did you understand? Nothing. I don't speak Greek. But you heard your husband's name. No point lying. Yes. He studied me for a long moment. Come in. Close the door. I did. Your husband isn't just a bully, Mrs. Bennett. He's connected to people I'd rather not have attention from right now. My blood went cold. What does that mean? It means your presence here is more complicated than I initially thought. It means keeping you safe just became significantly more expensive. He poured himself a drink, didn't offer me one. It also means you're more valuable to me than I expected. I don't understand. You will. Eventually. He downed the drink. Get some sleep. We'll talk more tomorrow. Wait. Tomorrow, Mrs. Bennett. I left. Went back upstairs. Lay in bed wondering what I'd just walked into. And why Marcus being connected made me more valuable. And whether I just made a terrible mistake. The next week fell into a pattern. Mornings I studied the photos Stephanos gave me. Viktor Petrov, his wife Kaya, associates with Russian names I couldn't pronounce. I memorized faces, mannerisms, who stood close to whom in the surveillance photos. Afternoons, Maria taught me Greek phrases. Without speaking English, she somehow made herself understood. She'd point at objects, say the word, make me repeat it. Kilimera. Good morning. Aphoristo. Thank you. Pericolo. Please. Evenings. Stephanos cooked. I'd watch from the kitchen island, not helping. Just present. He'd explain what he was making. Greek dishes his mother taught him. Spanakopita. Souvlaki on the nights he wanted something simple. Why do you cook? I asked one night. You have Maria. You could have a whole staff. Cooking reminds me where I came from. My mother worked 3 jobs. Still found time to make real food. Not American fast food. He drizzled olive oil over vegetables. When I cook, I remember that no amount of money makes me better than she was. It was the most personal thing he'd shared. We ate in comfortable silence. A strange domesticity settling between us, like we were something we weren't. Friday arrived. The charity gala. Stephanos had arranged everything. A coat check position at the Grandview Hotel. Legitimate employment through a staffing agency he apparently owned. I wore all black, hair pulled back. Minimal makeup, the uniform of invisible service staff. Remember, he said before I left. You're not there to interact, just observe. Viktor Petrov, who he talks to. For how long? Any exchanges that look like more than polite conversation. I understand. And Claire? He'd started using my first name sometime during the week. Yes, if anything feels wrong, if you feel unsafe, you leave. Job isn't worth your safety. The concern in his voice surprised me. I'll be fine. The gala was exactly what I expected. Wealthy people in expensive clothes, drinking expensive wine, pretending to care about whatever charity was being celebrated. I checked coats, smiled politely, became invisible. Viktor Petrov arrived at 8:30, exactly as Stephanos predicted. Silver hair, tailored tuxedo, wife on his arm dripping in diamonds. I watched. He spoke to 7 different people over the next 2 hours. Each conversation brief, polite, nothing suspicious, until the 8th person, a younger man. Dark hair, expensive suit. They moved to a corner. Spoke for 12 minutes. Petrov's body language changed. Tense. Guarded. The younger man handed Petrov something. Small. Easily concealed. Petrov pocketed it. They shook hands. Parted. I memorized every detail. The younger man's face. His height. The way he moved. The platinum watch on his wrist. I went home with $500 and information that made Stephanos go very still. Describe him again. I did. Every detail. You're certain about the watch? Platinum, blue face. Roman numerals. He pulled out his phone, showed me a photo. This man? Yes, that's him. Stefanos muttered something in Greek. Set down his phone. You did well. Very well. Who is he? Someone who shouldn't be talking to Petrov. He looked at me. You've just earned yourself a significant bonus. He handed me an envelope. I opened it. $2,000 cash. This is too much. No. It's exactly right. You provided information worth 10 times that. The next job came 2 days later. Another gala, different hotel. Same instructions. Observe, report. Then, another job, the day after that. And another. Within 2 weeks, I'd worked 6 events, earned $8,000. More money than I'd made in 6 months at the Sterling Plaza. But something shifted. Stefanos started treating the work as routine. Expected. He'd hand me folders, give brief instructions, send me out. No more checking if I felt safe. No more concern in his voice. Just here's the target. Here's the event. Report back. One morning, he handed me 3 folders at once. 3 events this week. Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. All briefed in the folders. Questions? No, I said quietly. He nodded. Walked away. Maria noticed my expression, squeezed my shoulder, said something in Greek that sounded sympathetic. I was useful again. Valuable. Earning my keep. Exactly what I'd wanted. So why did it feel hollow? Thursday night, I came back from an event. Exhausted. 12-hour shift. Standing in heels. Smiling politely. Watching people who had everything. I went straight to my room. Didn't stop for debrief. Stefanos knocked an hour later. I opened the door. Still in my black server uniform. You didn't report, he said. I will, tomorrow. I'm exhausted. The information is time sensitive. I need it tonight. It can wait 8 hours. No, it can't. He stepped into my room. Uninvited. What did you see, Stefanos? What? Did you see? The command in his voice triggered something. Memories of Marcus. Of being ordered. Controlled. Get out of my room. Not until you. I said, get out. We stood there. Him in my doorway. Me blocking his path. This is my house, he said quietly. This is my room. You said I had my own space. You said I wasn't a prisoner. You're not. You're an employee. And employees report when information is time sensitive. Employees also have boundaries. And you just crossed mine. Something flickered in his expression. Prize, maybe. Or respect. He stepped back. Tomorrow morning. 7 a.m. My office. He left. I closed the door. Locked it. Then sat on the bed and shook. The next morning, I went to his office at 7 sharp. He was already there. Coffee waiting for me. A peace offering. I didn't drink it. Report, I said coldly. He blinked. Excuse me? You wanted my report. Here it is. I pulled out my notes. Read them mechanically. Names. Times. Observations. That's everything. Anything else? Claire. Mrs. Bennett. If I'm just an employee, let's keep it professional. Last night I overstepped. I apologize. Noted. Anything else? He leaned back in his chair. Studied me. You're angry. I'm setting boundaries, like you told me to do. Remember? Learn to just be? Well, part of being is having boundaries. And you violated mine. You're right. The admission surprised me. I am? Yes. I treated you like property last night. Like someone I own. That wasn't acceptable. He stood, walked around the desk. I'm used to people doing what I say when I say it. I forgot you're not one of my men. No, I'm not. It won't happen again. How do I know that? You don't. You'll have to trust me. Trust is earned, not demanded. Also correct. He smiled slightly. You're learning fast. I had a good teacher. Terrible husband, but educational. The tension broke slightly. That night, I couldn't sleep again. Went downstairs around 2 a.m. Same as before. Found Stefanos on the balcony, overlooking the river, glass of whiskey in hand. Staring at the water. Can't sleep? He asked without turning. Apparently not. You? Sleep is a luxury in my business. I stood next to him, at the railing. Close but not touching. The October night was cold. I'd grabbed a blanket from the couch. Do you ever regret it? I asked. This life? Every day. And never. He took a sip. It's who I am. Who my family has been for 3 generations. I can't separate myself from it any more than I can separate myself from my own blood. That sounds lonely. It is, but it's also powerful. Protected. Controlled. He glanced at me. Control isn't always bad. Sometimes it's the only thing keeping chaos from consuming everything. Marcus thought the same thing. I'm not Marcus. No, you're not. I pulled the blanket tighter. You're scarier in some ways. More dangerous. But you're not cruel. That's the difference. Don't make me a hero, Claire. I've done terrible things. Will do more terrible things. The only difference is I have rules about who I hurt. Women and children. Always off limits. Why? He was quiet for a long moment. Then, my father killed my mother. When I was 17. She tried to leave him. He couldn't accept that. So he removed the problem. My breath caught. Stephanos. I found her. In their bedroom. He was already gone. Fled. I hunted him for 2 years. Found him in Athens. Living under a new name. He drank. I made sure his death took longer than hers did. How long did hers take? Instant. He shot her. Quick. Efficient. She didn't suffer. And his? 3 days. We stood in silence, the weight of his confession between us. I'm sorry, I whispered. Don't be. I'm not. He turned to face me. That's who I am, Claire. A man who tortured his own father to death and doesn't regret it. That's the person you're living with, working for. He was trying to scare me, to push me away. Instead, I stepped closer. My mother died when I was 12. Cancer. Ovarian. Quick but brutal. My father couldn't handle it. Started drinking. Died in a car accident 3 years later. Drunk. Alone. I met his eyes. I understand loss. I understand what it makes you become. It's not the same. No, but it's not completely different either. The distance between us was maybe 6 inches. I could smell his cologne, cedar and something darker. Could see the flecks of gold in his eyes. You should go to bed, he said quietly. So should you. I will. Eventually. Neither of us moved. His hand came up, slowly. Brushed a strand of hair from my face. His fingers lingered at my cheek. This is a bad idea, he murmured. What is? Whatever this is becoming. Maybe. His phone rang. Shattered the moment. He answered. Spoke rapid Greek. His expression changed. Hardened. I have to go. Business. He looked at me. Lock the doors. Don't let anyone in. Maria has instructions. What's wrong? Nothing you need to worry about. He was already moving. Stay inside until I'm back. How long will you be gone? However long it takes. He left. Within minutes, I heard cars leaving. Multiple engines. The convoy. He was gone 3 days. No word. No update. Maria wouldn't tell me anything. Just patted my hand. Brought food I didn't eat. When he finally came back, it was 4 a.m. I heard the door. Ran downstairs. He looked exhausted. Dangerous. There was blood on his shirt cuff. Whose blood is that? Not mine. Go back to bed. No. Tell me what happened. Tell me where you've been. That's not your concern. The hell it isn't. You disappeared for 3 days. No word. No explanation. Maria wouldn't tell me anything. I thought, my voice cracked. I thought maybe you were dead. Something shifted in his expression. You were worried? Of course I was worried. You live a dangerous life. And you just vanished. He crossed the distance between us in 3 strides. Pulled me against him. Held me. I'm fine. I'm here. I'm okay. I shoved at his chest. Don't do that again. Don't just disappear. I deserve better than that. You're right. I'm not some possession you can just... I stopped. Processed. What? You're right. You deserved communication. An update. Something. He didn't let go. I'm not used to anyone worrying. Not used to needing to report my whereabouts. Well, get used to it. Because if we're going to... I stopped. If we're living under the same roof, you owe me basic courtesy. Agreed. His arms were still around me. Mine were on his chest. Neither of us moved. There's blood on your shirt, I said quietly. I know. Should I ask whose? No. Okay. We stood there. In his entrance hall. At 4 in the morning, holding each other like something we weren't. This is getting complicated, he murmured. I know. We should establish boundaries. Probably. Clear lines. Employer. Right. Neither of us let go. His phone buzzed. He ignored it. I should shower. Change. You should sleep. I should. Claire. Yes? Thank you. For worrying. I stepped back. Put distance between us before I did something stupid. Don't give me a reason to worry again. I'll try. I went upstairs. Back to my room. Didn't sleep. Lay in bed replaying the moment. His arms around me. The way he'd held me like I mattered. Like I was more than useful. More than an employee. Like I was something dangerous. We were both pretending not to feel. The morning after Stefanos returned, everything felt different. We moved around each other carefully. Polite. Distant. Like the moment in the hallway hadn't happened. But it had. I could still feel his arms around me. The way he'd held me like I was breakable. Precious. I was making coffee when his office door slammed open. Claire, now. The tone made my blood run cold. I found him at his desk. 3 men standing around him. All wearing expressions that screamed danger. What's wrong? Your husband. He turned his laptop toward me. He's talking. On the screen. A news article. Local crime reporter. The headline made my stomach drop. Hotel worker missing. Husband claims organized crime connection. Below it, Marcus. Looking distraught for camera. My wife Claire. Disappeared 3 weeks ago. Last seen with a known organized crime figure. I'm begging anyone with information to come forward. I just want her home safe. Known organized crime figure. He'd identified Stefanos publicly. Oh God, there's more. Stefanos clicked to another tab. Social media. Marcus had created posts everywhere. My photo. Stefanos' name. Connections drawn between his business and suspected criminal activity. He's trying to force the police to investigate you, I whispered. Yes. Which means the police will be here. Soon. Asking questions. Looking for you. He stood. Started pacing. This is bad. Very bad. One of the men spoke in Greek. Stefanos responded sharply. What did he say? I asked. Nikos thinks we should disappear you. Send you somewhere Marcus can't find. Somewhere the police won't look. Like where? Greece. My family has property there. Remote. Safe. Wait. I held up my hand. You want to send me to another country? That's insane. It's necessary. If the police find you here, they'll have questions. About our arrangement. About what you know. About my business. His voice was tight. Controlled. I can't have that exposure. So I'm a liability now. You're a complication that needs to be managed. The words cut deeper than they should have. Managed? Like a problem? That's not what I meant. Yes. It is. I crossed my arms. I'm useful until I'm inconvenient. Then you pack me off to Greece and pretend I never existed. Claire. Mrs. Bennett. Remember? Employee. Professional. His jaw clenched. Fine. Mrs. Bennett. This isn't personal. This is practical. Your presence here puts both of us at risk. Then maybe I should just go to the police. Tell them the truth. That I left voluntarily. That you helped me. And tell them about the jobs I hired you for. The observation work. How will that sound? His voice dropped. You've been working for a criminal. Gathering intelligence. That makes you an accessory. The reality of it hit me. He was right. So what are my options? Greece or prison? Greece or risk both of us being investigated, charged, and possibly killed by people who don't appreciate police attention to their business operations. You mean your business partners? Yes. One of the men, Nekos, said something else, in Greek. Urgent. Insistent, Stefanos responded. Angry. Final. Nikos switched to English. She's not worth the risk, Stefanos. Send her away or eliminate the problem. Eliminate? I looked at Stefanos. He means kill me. He means nothing. Nikos, shut up. Your father would have. My father was a monster. I'm not him. Stefanos turned to me. You're going to Greece. Tonight. I have a flight leaving at 8. Nikos will escort you. You'll stay at the family property until this dies down. And if it doesn't die down, then you stay there. For how long? However long it takes. No, the word came out stronger than I felt. This isn't negotiable. Everything is negotiable. You told me that. I have choices. Agency. Remember? Not when those choices endanger both of us. You're making this decision without me. Controlling where I go, what I do, who I see. I stepped closer. You're becoming exactly what you said you weren't. You're becoming Marcus. The words landed like a physical blow. His expression went cold. I am nothing like your husband. Really? Because right now you're making decisions about my life without consulting me. Telling me where I have to go, what I have to do, threatening me with consequences if I don't comply. My voice rose. That sounds exactly like Marcus. I'm trying to protect you by controlling me, by keeping you alive. The room went silent. Stefanos took a breath, visibly controlled himself. Marcus isn't just talking to reporters. He's talking to my competitors. People who'd love a reason to moo against me. People who'd use you to get to me. If they find you here, they won't just take you. They'll hurt you to send me a message. Then teach me to protect myself. Give me security. Don't just ship me off like luggage. You don't understand the kind of people we're dealing with. Then explain it to me. Stop treating me like a child who can't handle reality. Nikos interjected again. Greek. Sharp. Stefanos snapped back at him. Then turned to me. Pack a bag. 1 suitcase. We leave in 3 hours. I said no. And I said it's not negotiable. He walked out. Left me standing there with 3 men who looked at me like I was already dead. I went to my room. Closed the door. Sat on the bed. Thought. Marcus was the problem. If I could fix Marcus, I could fix everything. If I could get him to retract his statements, stop talking to press, stop investigating Stefanos. If I could just talk to him, reason with him. He'd always listened to me before, when I was calm, rational, helpful. I could help. I could fix this. It's what I did. What I'd always done. I pulled out my phone. The one Stefanos didn't know I'd kept. The one with Marcus's number, still saved. My hands shook as I typed. We need to talk. Meet me at the Sterling Plaza. Service entrance. 1 hour. Come alone. I hit send before I could reconsider. His response came in seconds. I'll be there. I love you. We can fix this. I grabbed my jacket. Waited until I heard Stefanos in his office. Voices raised. Arguing with his men. I slipped out the side door, the one Maria used for deliveries. The Sterling Plaza was exactly as I remembered. Same industrial smell, same gray walls, same sense of smallness. I waited in the service alley, behind the dumpsters, where no one would see. Marcus appeared right on time. He looked different, thinner, desperate. His eyes scanned the alley frantically until he found me. Claire, thank God. He moved toward me. I held up a hand. Stay there. We're not doing this. Baby, I'm so sorry. Everything I said, everything I did. Stop. I'm not here for apologies. I'm here to tell you to stop talking to the press. Stop investigating Stefanos Gallus. Drop all of it. His expression changed. Hardened. You're defending him? The criminal who kidnapped you? He didn't kidnap me. I left you voluntarily. Because you're abusive. Controlling. Everything he said about you was right. Everything Claire. He's manipulating you. Can't you see that? He's a criminal. A killer. And you're protecting him? I'm protecting myself. By getting you to stop this insanity before someone gets hurt. Someone? Marcus laughed. Cold. You mean him. You're worried about him. I'm worried about both of us. You're poking a dangerous man, Marcus. He has resources you can't imagine. People who what? Kill people who inconvenience them. He stepped closer. That's who you're choosing? Over your husband? You stopped being my husband the moment you threw me out. I was angry. I made a mistake. But we're still married, Claire. Still bound. You can't just walk away. Watch me. I turned to leave. His hand grabbed my arm. Hard. Fingers digging in exactly where he'd grabbed me. At the gala. Let go. No. We're not done. Marcus, you think you can just disappear? Start a new life with some criminal. I'll destroy you both. I'll tell the police everything. About your little spy jobs. About the money. All of it. How do you know about? You think I don't have sources? I've been watching. Waiting. I know exactly what you've been doing for him. Fear shot through me. You've been following me, protecting my interests. You're still my wife, my property. I'm not anyone's property. His grip tightened. Yes, you are, and you're coming home. Now, a black SUV pulled into the alley. Then another, and another. But these weren't Stefanos's cars. Different. Russian plates. Men emerging. Hard faces. Unfriendly. Marcus's expression shifted. Confusion, then fear. What did you do? I whispered. I didn't. I came alone. The men surrounded us. One spoke. Russian accent. Mrs. Bennett, you're coming with us. No, I'm not. He pulled a gun. Casual. Like it was nothing. Not a request. Marcus released me. Stepped back. Look, there's been a misunderstanding. I just wanted to talk to my wife. Mr. Petrov sends his regards. The Russian looked at me. Your employer has something we want. You're the leverage. Viktor Petrov. The man I'd observed at the gala. The one who talked to the younger man with the platinum watch. This was connected. All of it. Stefanos doesn't negotiate with. He will. For you. We've been watching. We know what you mean to him. A hand grabbed me from behind. Another covered my mouth. I struggled. Tried to scream. Marcus backed away. Hands raised. Look. Just take her. I didn't see anything. I don't know anything. Coward. Even now. The Russians dragged me toward their car. Then gunshots. Not from their guns. From above. The warehouse roof. Figures moving. Stefanos's men. The Russian holding me dropped. Then another. Professional. Precise. Silenced weapon. Chaos erupted. Marcus ran. Disappeared into the hotel. I dropped to the ground. Covered my head. More shots. Shouting. Russian. Greek. English. Then silence. Strong hands pulled me up. One of Stefanos's men. Blood on his suit. Are you hurt? I shook my head. A car screeched to a stop. Stefanos emerged. Face dark with fury. He crossed to me in 3 strides. Grabbed my shoulders. What the hell were you thinking? I was trying to help. I thought if I could talk to Marcus. You thought you could fix this? By yourself, without telling me, without backup. His voice was deadly calm. You almost got yourself killed. I was trying to. You were trying to be useful. To prove your value. To make yourself indispensable. He released me. Stepped back. That need to be needed almost cost you your life. The accuracy hit like a slap. You knew, I whispered. You knew Marcus was being watched by the Russians. Yes, and you didn't tell me. Because I knew you'd try to fix it. Try to help. Try to prove you're worth keeping around. His expression was cold now. Distant. That's what you do. Manipulate through helpfulness. Control through service. Make yourself so useful people can't get rid of you. That's not. Yes, it is. And it almost got you killed tonight. He turned to his men. Spoke in Greek. They moved toward me. Wait, what are you doing? Sending you to Greece? Tonight. Like I should have done this morning. Stefanos. My name is Mr. Gallus. And you're fired. The words froze me. You're not my employee anymore. You're not my problem. You're a liability I can't afford. He wouldn't look at me. Mikos will take you to the airport. You'll stay in Greece until I say otherwise. Possibly forever. You can't just. I can. I am. You violated protocol. Put yourself in danger. Nearly started a war between families because you thought you could fix everything by yourself. He finally met my eyes. We're done, Claire. This arrangement is over. Everything was a mistake. On both sides. His voice was flat. Empty. Go to Greece. Start over. Forget you ever knew me. He walked to his car. Got in. Drove away. Left me standing in the alley. With his men and a body count. And the ruins of whatever we'd been building. Nikos touched my elbow gently. Come, we go now. I got in the car. Numb. Destroyed. Alone. He was right about everything. I'd tried to manipulate through helpfulness. To control through service. To make myself indispensable so he couldn't abandon me. Just like I'd done with Marcus. Just like I did with everyone. And it had cost me everything. The city blurred past the window. We headed toward the airport. Toward Greece. Toward a future without him. And I had no one to blame but myself. The flight to Athens was 11 hours. I didn't sleep. Nikos sat across from me, silent, professional, occasionally checking his phone. We landed at dawn. Greek time. A car was waiting. Another convoy. Smaller than Stefanos's, but just as efficient. We drove 3 hours north, into mountains, past villages that looked frozen in time. White buildings, blue shutters, olive groves, stretching forever. The family property was exactly what I'd expected. Remote, beautiful. A villa that had been in Stefanos's family for generations. White stone, terracotta roof, views of the Aegean that would take your breath away if you had breath left to take. A woman met us at the door, older. Stefanos's aunt, Nikos explained in broken English. Elena. She spoke no English, but her kindness was clear. She showed me to a room, unpacked my single suitcase, brought me food. I didn't eat, left me alone with my thoughts. I lasted 2 days before the anger came. How dare he? How dare he blame me for trying to help? For trying to fix the situation he'd created by keeping me in the dark. If he'd told me about the Russians, about Marcus being watched, about the danger, I would have. What? Not tried to fix it? The truth hit like cold water. He was right. I would have tried to fix it anyway, would have thought I could manage it, control it, make myself so useful, so necessary, that the danger would just evaporate because I willed it to. That's what I did, what I'd always done, made myself indispensable so people couldn't leave me. Elena knocked on my door the third morning, said something in Greek, gestured for me to follow. She led me to the kitchen, handed me vegetables, a knife, showed me how she wanted them cut. I started to protest, to say I didn't need to work, that I was a guest, but her expression stopped me. She wasn't asking me to earn my keep. She was inviting me to do something, anything, to get out of my head. I cut vegetables. She cooked. A stew of some kind. Smells I didn't recognize, but that made my stomach wake up for the first time in days. We ate together. In silence, but comfortable silence. After, she taught me Greek words, pointing at objects, making me repeat, trapezi, table, karekla, chair, philia, friend. That last one made me tear up. She patted my hand, said something soft in Greek. I didn't understand the words, but I understood the meaning. You're safe here. You're not alone. A week passed. Then, too, I fell into routine. Mornings with Elena, learning to cook Greek food, learning the language. Afternoons walking the olive groves. Evenings watching the sunset over the Aegean. No word from Stefanos. No updates. No contact. Nikos had stayed the first 3 days, then left. Promised to check in weekly. I was alone. Truly alone. For the first time in my life. No Marcus telling me what to do. No Stefanos sending me on jobs. No one needing me for anything. Just me, Elena, the villa, the silence. It was terrifying and necessary. One morning, 3 weeks in, I woke up and realized something. I'd spent my entire life making myself needed, essential, the person who fixed things, who helped, who sacrificed. Because if I was needed, I couldn't be abandoned, but I'd been abandoned anyway. By my father, through death, by my sister through distance, by Marcus, through cruelty, by Stefanos through what? Self-protection? Practicality? It didn't matter. What mattered was the pattern. I couldn't keep doing this. Couldn't keep manipulating through helpfulness, controlling through service, making my value contingent on usefulness. I had to learn to just be, like Stefanos had said, to exist without earning it, without justifying it. But how? Elena found me crying on the terrace that afternoon. She sat beside me, didn't ask questions, just sat. After a while, I spoke, in broken Greek and English mixed together. I don't know who I am. Without helping, without being useful. She considered this, then responded in slow, simple Greek. I could mostly follow. You are Claire, not Claire the helper, not Claire the wife, not Claire the worker, just Claire. I don't know how to be just Claire. Then learn, start small. How? She stood, held out her hand. Come. She led me to a room I hadn't entered. A studio, art supplies, canvases, paint. This was Stefanos's mother's room. She painted. I looked at the canvases on the walls. Abstract, emotional, beautiful. She painted what she felt, not what was useful, not what would help others, just what was inside her. Elena handed me a brush, pointed to blank canvas. Paint. I don't know how. Perfect. Then you do it for you, not for anyone else. Not to be good, not to be useful, just to do. I stared at the blank canvas, then dipped the brush in blue and painted, badly, terribly, colors that didn't match, strokes that made no sense. But it was mine, just mine, not useful to anyone, and it felt like the first honest thing I'd done in years. I painted every day after that, sometimes for hours, sometimes just minutes. Always badly, always honestly. Elena would bring me tea, sit, watch, never critique, never praise, just witness. One afternoon, a month after I'd arrived, Nikos returned. News, he said in his broken English, from Stefanos. My heart jumped. Is he okay? He is alive. Managing. The Russians are handled. Marcus is silent. Things are stable. Does he want me to come back? Nikos hesitated. He asks how you are. If you are well, safe. That's not the same as wanting me back. No, it is not. So I stay here. Forever. Perhaps. Or perhaps you decide for yourself what you want, where you want to be. Nikos studied me. You look different. Stronger, maybe. I don't feel stronger. Strength is not feeling, is doing. You are here, alone, learning, growing. That is strength. After he left, I thought about his words. What did I want? If I could have anything, go anywhere, be anyone, what would I choose? The answer surprised me. I wanted to go back, to New Jersey, to the warehouse, to Stefanos, not because I needed him, not because I had nowhere else to go, but because I chose him, chose that life, chose the danger and complexity and darkness, because it was real, because he saw me, really saw me. Even the ugly parts, especially the ugly parts, but I couldn't go back as the same person, the same woman who manipulated through helpfulness, who made herself indispensable to avoid abandonment. I had to go back different, healed, whole, if he'd even take me back. 6 weeks after I'd arrived, Elena got sick. Nothing serious, a flu. But she was 68, needed rest. I took care of her, made her soup, brought her tea, sat with her, and realized something. Helping her felt different. Not desperate, not manipulative, not proving my worth, just helping. Because she needed help, and I could give it. The difference was subtle, but massive. Before, I helped to be needed, to be essential, to prevent abandonment. Now I helped because I chose to, because I cared, not because I needed something in return. I called Nikos that night. I need to talk to Stefanos. He is busy, managing. I don't care. Tell him I need 5 minutes. 5 minutes on the phone. That's all. Nikos sighed. I will ask. 2 days later, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Claire. His voice. After 6 weeks of silence. Stefano. Silence. Heavy, loaded. How are you? He asked finally. Better. Different. Growing. I took a breath. I understand now what you meant. About my blind spot. About manipulating through helpfulness. I was too harsh. I should have. No. You were right. I needed to hear it, needed to face it. I looked out at the Aegean. I've been learning who I am without being useful. It's hard, terrifying, but necessary. I'm glad. Are you? Yes. I want you to be whole. Healed. Even if that means, he stopped. Even if that means I don't come back. Yes. What if I want to come back? Not because I need to, not because I have nowhere else to go, but because I choose to. Choose you. Choose that life. His breath caught. I heard it. Claire, I'm not the same person you sent away. I'm not going to manipulate through service. I'm not going to make myself indispensable to earn my place. If I come back, It's as an equal, a partner, someone who chooses to be there, not someone who needs to be there. Silence. Then, I would like that very much. Would you? Or would you prefer me needy, grateful, dependent? I would prefer you whole, even if that makes you harder to. He stopped. Harder to what? Control? Harder to protect. If you're whole, you might leave, might choose differently, might not need me at all. The vulnerability in his voice cracked. Something open. I don't need you, I said quietly. But I want you. There's a difference. Yes, there is. So can I come home? Not to the warehouse. Not to the job. Just to you. To see if we can build something real. Something not based on need or usefulness or dependency. Yes. But Claire. Yes? Things have changed here. The situation with the Russians. With your husband. It's complicated. Dangerous. If you come back, you need to understand the risks. I understand. Do you? Really? No. But I trust you to tell me the truth. And I trust myself to handle it. That's new. The trusting myself part. He laughed. Quiet. Warm. I've missed you. I've missed you too. Come home. We'll figure the rest out together. Together? I like the sound of that. After we hung up, I found Elena in the kitchen, told her I was leaving. She smiled, said something in Greek I mostly understood. You found yourself. Now go find him. But don't lose yourself again. I won't, I promise. She hugged me, kissed both cheeks, whispered, Hello Taxidi. Good journey. The flight back was different than the flight out. I wasn't running from something. I was running toward it. Toward him. Toward a life I chose. Toward danger I accepted with open eyes. Nikos met me at Newark. Same professional demeanor, but something different in his expression. You look good, he said. Greece was good for you. Yes, it was. Stefanos is nervous. He does not like nervous. Good. He should be. Nikos smiled. Actually smiled. Yes, he should be. The drive to the warehouse felt longer than I remembered. Or maybe I was just impatient. When we pulled up, the gates opened immediately, like they'd been watching for us. The door to the warehouse opened. Stefanos stood there. Dark jeans, black sweater, hair slightly longer than before. He looked tired. Older, like the 6 weeks had cost him. I got out of the car, stood there. 20 feet between us, neither of us moved. Then he crossed the distance, slowly, like approaching something fragile, stopped 3 feet away. Hi, he said. Hi. We stood there, awkward, uncertain. Then I stepped forward, wrapped my arms around him, held on. He went still for half a second. Then his arms came around me, tight, like he'd been holding his breath for 6 weeks, and could finally exhale. I'm sorry, he murmured into my hair, for sending you away, for the things I said. You were right, about all of it. I was cruel. You were honest. I needed honest. We stood there, holding each other, in the entrance of his warehouse, neither willing to let go first. Finally, he pulled back. Looked at me. Really looked. You are different. Yes. Stronger. Maybe. Or maybe just more myself. He sighed. I like it. Good. Because this is who I am now. No performance. No manipulation through helpfulness. Just me. Just you is more than enough. That night, we sat in the kitchen. He cooked. I watched. But it felt different. Before I would have jumped up to help. To prove my usefulness. To make myself necessary. Now, I just sat. Watched him move around the kitchen. Comfortable in the silence. Tell me about Greece, he said. Chopping vegetables. It was beautiful. Lonely. Necessary. I sipped wine. Elena is wonderful. She taught me to paint. My mother's studio. Yes, I'm terrible at it. But I love it. He smiled. My mother was terrible at it too. But it made her happy. That was enough. Elena said the same thing. He plated food, set it in front of me, sat across from me. We ate in comfortable silence. Then he spoke. Things here have been complicated. While you were gone. Tell me. The Russians. Petrov. It escalated after that night. They wanted war. I gave them peace. At a cost. What cost? Territory. Shipping routes. A significant portion of my operation. He met my eyes. I chose your safety over my business interests. My men weren't happy. Some left, joined other families. The weight of that settled on me. You gave up your empire. For me, parts of it. Yes. Why? Because you were right. I was becoming my father. Valuing control over people, power over connection. He set down his fork. I chose differently. For the first time in my life, I chose a person over the business. That must have been hard, terrifying, against everything I was taught, everything I believed about survival in this world. Do you regret it? No, not even a little. Later, we sat on the balcony. Same place we'd stood that night. Before everything fell apart. I need to tell you something, I said. About Marcus. His expression tightened. What about him? He's been silent since that night, but not because he gave up. I pulled out my phone, showed him emails. He's been writing to me, to the phone number you gave me, asking to talk, saying he wants to reconcile. Are you considering it? No, but I'm not blocking him either. I looked at Stefanos. Before, I would have cut him off completely, or I would have tried to manage him, control the situation, fix it. And now I'm letting him exist. With his feelings, with his attempts to reconnect, without making it my responsibility to fix or manage or control. I set down my phone. I can't control him. I can only control my response to him. And my response is no. Not because I hate him, but because I choose differently. Stefanos was quiet for a long moment. That's mature. Healthy. I'm impressed. What about you? What have you learned? He looked out at the river. That control is an illusion. That protecting people sometimes means letting them go. That love. He stopped. That love what? That love requires vulnerability. Trust. Letting someone see you at your weakest and believing they won't use it against you. He turned to me. I've never done that before. Never let anyone close enough to hurt me. After my mother. You built walls. Massive walls. Impenetrable. And now I'm choosing to lower them. For you, it's terrifying. Goes against every instinct. But it's also the only way forward. I reached for his hand. He took it. We're both taking risks, I said quietly. Yes, but maybe that's what real connection requires. Mutual risk. Mutual vulnerability. Both people choosing, despite the danger. I choose you. Despite everything, despite the danger, despite the complications, I choose you too. Not because you're useful, not because you fix things, but because you're you. Whole, real, complicated, beautiful. The words settled between us. True, honest, terrifying. His phone buzzed. He ignored it. It buzzed again. You should answer that, I said. He looked at the screen. His expression changed. What's wrong? It's Marcus. He's at the gate. Says he has information about the Russians, about Petrov. Says it's urgent. It's a trap. Probably. But what if it isn't? I thought about it. About the old me. The one who would have tried to manage this. To fix it. To make myself indispensable by solving the problem. The new me knew better. Let him in, but on our terms. Not his. Our terms? Yes. We face this together. Both of us. Equal partners. No one controlling. No one managing alone. Together. He studied me, then smiled. Together. He pressed the intercom. Send him to the main entrance. Tell him he has 5 minutes. He comes alone. Searched. No weapons. No recording devices. We walked to the entrance together. His hand in mine. Marcus arrived 3 minutes later. Escorted by 2 of Stefanos's men. He looked worse than at the Sterling. Thinner. Desperate. His suit wrinkled. He saw me standing with Stefanos, holding his hand. Something flickered across his face. Pain. Rage. Loss. Claire. Marcus. You look good. Different. I am different. He looked at Stefanos. I came to warn you. Petrov isn't finished. He's planning something. Soon. I heard about it through. He hesitated. Through my connections. What connections? Stefanos asked. That doesn't matter. What matters is he's targeting both of you together. Thinks if he takes Claire, you'll be vulnerable, controllable. Why tell me this? Why help? Marcus looked at me. Because she deserves better than being caught in crossfire. Better than being used as leverage. His voice cracked. Better than I gave her. The honesty surprised me. Thank you, I said quietly, for the warning. Is it true? What you said at the Sterling? That I was abusive? Yes. He nodded. Looked at the ground. I'm sorry for all of it. You deserved better. Yes, I did. He looked at Stefanos. Take care of her, or I'll. He stopped, laughed bitterly. I'll do nothing. Because I can't. Because I already lost her. Because I deserve to lose her. Stefanos didn't respond. Just pulled me closer. Marcus left, escorted out by the same two men. I watched him go. Felt nothing. No anger. No sadness. Just closure. Do you believe him? I asked. About Petra? Yes. Which means we need to be ready. Whatever is coming, it's coming soon. Then we prepare. Together. Together. We turned back toward the warehouse. Hand in hand. Ready for whatever came next. Ready to face it. As equals. As partners. As people who chose each other despite everything. The gate closed behind us. And somewhere in the city, Viktor Petrov was planning his next move. But we were ready. Finally, we were ready. Petrov came 3 days later. Not with guns. Not with violence. With an offer. He arrived at noon. Alone. Requested meeting. Stefanos agreed. Public place. Neutral territory. A cafe in Hoboken. Windows. Witnesses. Safe. I insisted on coming. This involves me, I said. I'm part of this. We face it together. Stefanos wanted to argue. I saw it in his eyes. The old instinct to protect by controlling, by excluding. But he stopped himself. Together. We sat across from Petrov. He looked distinguished. Calm. Dangerous. Mr. Gallus. Mrs. Bennett. He sipped espresso. I come with proposition. I'm listening, Stefanos said. Your territory. The rotes you gave up to make peace. I control them now. But they are worth more with your cooperation. Your knowledge. Your connections. You want a partnership? Yes. 60-40 split. Me 60. You 40. Better than nothing, which is what you have now. It was a good offer. Generous even. Petrov could have kept everything. What's the catch? I asked. Petrov smiled. Looked at me. Smart woman. The catch is you. You work for me. Observation. Intelligence. Like you did for him. But broader scope. More valuable targets. No, Stefanos said immediately. Wait. I put my hand on his arm. Looked at Petrov. What exactly would I be doing? Same work. Different employer. Better pay. More protection. Protection from what? From him. From this life. From complications. Petrov leaned forward. I know your story, Mrs. Bennett. Abusive husband. Nowhere to go. He took you in. Made you useful. Classic pattern. But patterns repeat. How long before he becomes what Marcus was? The words were designed to drive wedge between us. The old me would have been affected. Would have doubted. Questioned. The new me knew better. You're right about one thing, I said calmly. Patterns repeat, but only if we don't break them. We broke ours. Both of us. Have you? Or are you just telling yourself that? I looked at Stefanos. At the man who'd given up territory for my safety. Who'd sent me away to protect me. Who'd welcomed me back as an equal. Then back at Petrov. Yes, we have. And your offer is designed to test that. To see if we'll turn on each other under pressure. If he'll control me. If I'll choose safety over partnership. Petrov smiled. Very good. You are as smart as reports say. The answer is no, Stefanos said. We don't work for you. We don't partner with you. Find someone else. Even if I could make trouble. Make things difficult? Even then. Petrov studied us both. Then laughed. I respect this. The unity. The loyalty. He stood. Very well. Keep your small operation. Stay out of my way. We have no conflict. Just like that? Just like that. I wanted to see if you were weak. If she was leverage. You are not weak. She is not leverage. You are dangerous together. I leave dangerous things alone. He nodded to both of us. Good luck. You will need it in this life. He left. We sat there, processing. That was the test, I said quietly. The moment of truth. Yes, we passed. Yes, together. Together. 6 months later, things were different. Stefanos rebuilt his operation. Smaller, cleaner, more legitimate than before. Still organized crime, but with clearer lines, clearer ethics. I worked with him, not for him. Partner in the truest sense. Observing, analyzing, planning, using my skills by choice, not by need. We were building something new, something neither of us had seen before in this world. A partnership based on choice, trust, mutual respect. Some nights, I still painted. Badly. Honestly. Elena had been right. It kept me grounded, reminded me who I was beyond usefulness. Marcus signed divorce papers 4 months in. No fight, no drama, just acceptance. He sent one final message. I'm getting help, therapy, trying to break my patterns too. I hope you're happy. You deserve it. I was happy. Not in the simple way, not in the safe way, but in the real way, the complicated way. The way that required courage and vulnerability and constant choice. Stefanos found me on the balcony one evening, watching the sunset over the Hudson. What are you thinking? He asked. That I finally understand the difference between being needed and being chosen. And being chosen is better, scarier, but better. He wrapped his arms around me from behind. I choose you. Every day. Even when it's hard. Even when it's dangerous. I choose you too. Even knowing what you are. What we are. What are we? I thought about it. About the warehouse that became home. About the criminal who became partner. About the lost woman who became found. We're two broken people who chose to heal together. Who chose danger and honesty over safety and lies. Who chose each other despite every reason not to. I like that. Me too. In the distance, the city glittered. Full of danger. Full of possibility. Full of life. And we were ready for all of it. Together.